Hello everyone, welcome to GS Booster Shot, your daily dose for GS preparations. The Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve, that is the Central Bank of United States of America, in its recently concluded meeting has held that they are going to continue with an accommodative monetary policy for a while. The result of this was that stock markets across emerging economies went into green. Even India's stock market increased about 900 points within a day. So, by means of today's lecture, we are going to understand the dynamic relation between the rates of Federal Reserve and interest rate of Federal Reserves and the stock markets across emerging economies, especially India. Indian Express's today's Explained section article covers this very topic. From the point of view of GS3 economy section, this topic is important for us to better understand the functioning of financial markets. So, before we understand this dynamic relationship, let us first understand what actually is an accommodative monetary policy and why the central bank of any economy takes up this very policy. So, basically monetary policy deals with the supply of money in the economy. This is controlled by the central bank. So, what happens during the period of a slowdown? So, a slowdown occurs in an economy when the sentiment among the people is low with respect to the growth prospects of the economy, and this directly results in people decreasing their spending and increasing their savings. So, when there will be low aggregate demand in the economy, what will be the result? Basically, the supply side will in turn get affected, producers will be discouraged to produce more, and they will in turn start cutting down on jobs, and this is going to lead to recession. So, now the only way to raise aggregate demand would be to increase money supply in the economy. How will this be possible? So, the central bank at this point in time will reduce its interest rates, the rate at which it lends money to public banks or to banks in general in the economy. This will in turn lead to money getting cheaper. So, when money will get cheaper, that is, when you can easily borrow money at a very low rate, people would start borrowing and start adding to the production capacity. This will in turn lead to employment and the economy would revive again. This is known as accommodative monetary policy. So, what are basically let us also see the criticism of monetary economic policy. Accommodative monetary policy. So, if the money supply continues for a long period of time, what will it lead to? It will lead to an imbalance between demand and supply. The supply would not be able to match the money supply, and this will in turn lead to inflation, that is, the prices of goods and services will start going upwards. And in order to avoid inflation, therefore, central banks alternate between an accommodative monetary policy and a tight monetary policy. So, once there is a stimulus has been given to the economy, then the central bank again would revert to a tight monetary policy in which it is going to increase the interest rates. When loans will get costlier, people will stop borrowing and stability can be restored to the market. So, now why do foreign investors invest in India and not in their own country? So, in developed countries, there is less chance, there is limited growth possibilities, whereas in developing countries, there is massive growth potential. Why is that so? Because the word itself tells you that when an economy is developed, when a country is developed, it does not have much infrastructure needs, it does not need much power resources, and therefore, there would be less industries coming up in those less capital formation will be happening in those very countries. Whereas in developing countries like India today needs roughly about $100 trillion worth of infrastructure investment. So there is massive scope of growth in developing economies. Secondly, when we speak of US, there is a lot of flexible interest rate in US, which means that the interest rates are very low in United States. So what foreign investors do? Foreign investors take money, borrow money from US market and put that money in Indian market. Why? Because interest rates in India are far higher. So rather than getting money, raising money from the Indian market where the interest rate is about 7 to 8%, they'll take money from the foreign market and then invest in India. Because had they taken money from the Indian market, then the margin they would have been getting. For example, in India, there is roughly an interest rate about 7 to 9% going on, and a return, an expected return is 12%. Whereas if they take money from America, they'll take money at 1% rate of interest, and in India, they'll get 12% rate of return. And this is the very reason why foreign investors invest in emerging market, because of the growth potential of emerging markets. Now, let us understand how changes in federal rates impact dynamics in Indian stock markets. So there are basically 4 reasons to it. Number 1, first of all, as I have already told you, not just it impacts Indian stock markets, but also markets across emerging economies. The first is that the rate hike, if Federal Reserve hikes its rate, it will make investors cash out their investments in India. Why would they do so? Because then investment in Indian market would become less attractive. When a Federal Reserve, a central bank, increases its interest rates, then the treasury papers, or you can say government bonds, yield on government bonds increases. And when yield on government bonds will increase, people would like to shift to a safer market, that is US economy, from a riskier adventure in an emerging economy. Secondly, this will also lead to strengthening of dollar and weakening of rupee, and that would narrow down the benefit that they would have thought from getting the Indian market. Why is that so? So for example, the US Fed has hiked its interest rates. The interest on treasury bonds has increased, and therefore people will now shift from Indian markets to a safer market, that is the US economy, and buy those treasury bonds. What will this lead to? This will lead to an increase in the demand of dollar. And what will be people selling? People will be selling rupee, and therefore rupee's price will go down. The exchange rate would go down. Then what will happen? Supposedly $1 equals to 100 rupee. When rupee is depreciating and dollar's rate is increasing, what will happen is $1 will now become equal to, let's take for an example, about 110 rupee. So as I told you that this investor had come to India for this 12% return. He had thought that when I'll go back to US, I will take back with me 112 rupees. Now, this investor thought that, okay, no matter what, I'll stay in the Indian market even if the treasury has increased the rate. What will then happen is, treasury was earlier, Federal Reserve's bond were giving earlier 1 rupee return. Today, they are giving 2 rupee return. Now, when this individual, after earning this 112 rupees, would want to go back, he will see that the dollar's rate has increased, and ultimately he was left with only 2 rupee return. This return he would have otherwise also had in American market. So why take all the risk? And it is for this very reason that this is the second reason, that dollar's rate would increase, rupee would depreciate. This will reduce the margin of profit that an individual would have earned, and which is also the reason that he will take his money back. Thirdly, though foreign investors with long-term horizon won't panic, small-term investors will have to hedge its positions and cut down on returns. So what happens is, if you're a long-term investor and you are thinking of investing your money for about 10 to 20 years, you would not bother with a hike of 0.25% in interest rates. Whereas small investors, with respect to small investors, they play on hedging. What is hedging? Hedging is they actually anticipate what would be the future returns. And when there is an increase starting in interest rates, their investment would become riskier and the prospect of gaining more profit in future would become lower for them. Also, they do not have a larger risk-taking appetite, which is why small investors will flush out from the market immediately and will take their money back. Lastly, it also has a direct impact of increased interest rates on borrowing costs. So what is happening? Now, earlier I was borrowing for US at 1%. Now when the Federal Reserve has enhanced its rates, not only does this mean that now Federal Reserve will give you more interest, but also the interest it is going to take on the money that you have borrowed from there to invest in India will also increase. Now, this enhanced borrowing cost will dampen your interest or dampen the lucrativeness that you were finding in emerging markets, because it will again cut down on your profits. So these are the 4 reasons. Firstly, that the investment in India would become less attractive because now a safer haven investment is giving you somewhat more return, not return commensurate to what you were getting in India though. Then secondly, the dollar's price would increase because of higher interest you are getting on it, which will in turn lead to decrease in demand of rupee. And this will cut down on your expected profits, because when you're going to exchange this money, when you come to a foreign exchange at that point in time, you will have to shell out more rupee to gain $1. Thirdly, just small time investors who are basically doing hedging and basically playing on a very small margins will go out from the market at the very first time, though long-term investors may stay. Lastly, increase in borrowing costs, like you were bringing in money from US earlier. Now, borrowing from US will also become expensive. Then, what is the direct response of Reserve Bank with respect to the same, and also of the Indian investors? When Federal Reserve is going to hike its rate of return, what is going to happen? People will immediately flush out their money from Indian markets. Foreigners will take out their investments. This would create a problem for the Reserve Bank of India, because it now has to arrange forex reserve so as to pay back all the dollar demands. So you can see from this very chart, this chart was given in the Indian Express. In the month of May, about 3,000 crore rupees was flushed out from the Indian market, and in July, foreign portfolio investors took out about 11,300 crore rupees from Indian markets. So in order to arrange this forex reserve, the Reserve Bank of India should have sufficient reserves with itself. Secondly, if all of a sudden the foreign investors start taking back their money from the Indian markets, what will happen? There is a possibility that would crash the Indian market all at once, and this would be bad for the economy sentiment. Therefore, Reserve banks, by judging this very situation, can also reduce the interest rates itself. What will this lead to? If interest rates are slashed down, then private investors, that is the investors in India, will get a boost so as to invest in the stock market, because now the Indian investors can take money at a cheaper rate and invest the same in the stock markets for higher return. So this is the entire correlation between the Federal Reserve's interest rates and its direct impact on the stock markets of emerging markets, and what sort of a remedy can the central bank of the emerging markets can take with respect to this. I am also attaching the PDF of this very lecture along with this lecture video. Should you have any doubts, feel free to put your doubts in the comment section. That will be all for today from my side. Thank you and have a nice day.